Now we join William Woolard for a preview of one of the world's most prestigious and grueling motoring events, the RAC Rally.
For decades, the grounds of Weston Park have played host to some of rallying's most iconic moments. During the era of the Lombard RAC Rally, the world's best drivers pushed their cars to the limit on these narrow estate roads. What was once a competitive stage in one of the toughest rallies in the world is now home to the Lombard Rally Festival, which is a celebration of the cars, the drivers and the history that defined a generation of rallying.
Alrighty, so we've been to the service area, got some good shots in and around the guys setting up the vehicles, getting everything ready for the rally. Just out now, heading down the track, kind of scoping out. It's a little bit different to last year, so just trying to scope out where's best. I think the first car's due to come out in about half an hour. The very loud Audi Quattro that you've already seen and heard. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a little walk around, see where's good. I haven't got the water splash this year, which is slightly annoying, because that made for some good photos, but stuff like this is pretty cool. I kind of like to add in some foreground and background shots. It's quite an open rally, so there's not much kind of, especially these open bits here, there's not much as far as foreground and background goes for the photo. Kind of leaves it a little bit kind of flat as such. So always try and add in some stuff, make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in a bit.
Hey buddy, how you doing? He was a good looking fella.
Just while we're away, guys, thought I'd show you the setup that I'm running today. So my one and only camera body, Sony A7 III, absolute beast, love it. Obviously there are better cameras out there for sure, but we work with what we got. And then the trusty 70 to 200mm f2.8 lens, which has really been my go-to for motorsport. You just kind of, it's that sweet spot, excuse me, it's that sweet spot of distance for most circuits, rallies, kind of where you would be positioned, especially when you're accredited. I always carry my 28 to 70mm and typically use that in and around the pits, anything kind of close-up shots. All right, dude. And then I do try and carry the 24mm, which is the widest lens I've got. Probably isn't wide enough really, and I tend to use that on kind of corners or any kind of like hairpin where you can really dramatize the angle and kind of fill a little bit more background into the shot. So yeah, that's the current setup. As I say, this is probably the be-all and end-all, the most valuable investment I made in my motorsport career so far. Oh, he's a chatty fella. So yeah, look forward to showing you the shots. So we're just trying to get some pans at the moment and I've got some still images. There's these 5 or 6 hay barrels here, which is making for a quite nice photo with the pan and having kind of that merge within the car. And then we've got some still shots of the car coming backwards and forwards, which looks pretty cool. I'm just trying to add in those trees a little bit as well. Also, this might be helpful for somebody, because for a while I was always wondering what the button on the lenses do. I'm really ignorant to reading manuals or looking into what stuff does. I kind of like figure it out myself, weirdly. And then I couldn't understand what it was for, so I researched, and I think initially what it's for is for videography. So it's rather than your focus changing as you kind of like change subject, it locks onto that initial focus. But what I use it for in photography is you can map the button in the camera, and I have that set up for like 1/40, like f11, so I can do those panning shots, and then as soon as I release the button, it then goes back to my normal shutter speed aperture, which typically for like stills would be like 1/600 or 2000, f2.8, f4, something like that. So it's a real handy way to, rather than bashing your wheel and trying to get those settings changed quickly, you can literally do it on the fly, and the amount of photos that you get because of it is incredible. So hopefully that's helped somebody out there. Lovely. Alrighty, that was a good few runs. I'm pretty much down the bottom of the course now, which is super quiet, and to be honest, probably the most picturesque as far as like trees, hay barrels, cattle grids and all that kind of good stuff. So I got some really good photos then. Part 2 of Jack's top tips as a photographer who doesn't want to research the hell out of how to use a camera, how to use lenses, whatever. And you're like me, you like to figure things out for yourself. I only just figured out the flexible autofocus. So it's kind of like the manual focus where on the screen you'll like select using the little joystick, you'll select kind of where you want the focus to be in the frame, but it also then locks onto a subject as well. Game changer. So before I was kind of always using the continuous, well I use continuous now, but the flexible wide focus, which was good, but especially now that I'm kind of using more stuff in the foreground, background, all that kind of stuff, the car would come and then the camera would decide to focus on something right in front of me, which is kind of what cameras are built for. So yeah, that's been awesome. So check it out.
She's a fucking beauty. I'm not sure whether I can swear on YouTube. I think that was actually Ken Block's car as well. I took a few photos of it at the service area this morning, and it had like a certificate to say ownership, and it was like an American company and whatever. So I presume that is the Ken Block's car, which is fucking awesome.
Well, I'm fucked. Not literally, I'm just tired. I've just walked all the way down to the end of the section, and I found quite a nice spot, and I can hear some cars, so I presume we're going to have another run. I'm not really sure on the timings today, which is not great as a photographer. I wouldn't advise that. So I'm going to chill here for a minute, see if any more cars come down, because there's quite a nice shot through these trees. And then, yeah, make the long walk back up to the service area, probably get some more shots around there, and then probably call it a day. It's been good. What was I going to tell you? Oh yes, what I was going to tell you actually is this that I've been wearing today, and I've been meaning to make a short kind of Instagram post about it as well. It's cool. I think the make's Cotton, and it's like a hiker sling bag. It's it literally. Everything I was almost thinking about the design of this bag, thinking why has nobody done this before? Because I've seen it, like you can get these attachments like onto your normal rucksack and hang your camera on, which is great. But I didn't really want to take a big rucksack around with me, especially when you're doing rallies and you are literally hiking around fields and forests and stuff. So then I just had like an over shoulder chest strap for the camera. And then like a little sling bag, which I just carry like lenses and stuff like that in. But every time you kind of move around, that sling bag would move around with you, and it just got really annoying. So, and then I stumbled across these guys on the internet, and I was like, bingo, that is literally what I need. So, yeah, got it. This is like the second time I've wore it. It's really comfortable. it's kind of, I'm not really sure whether I should be kind of hanging this lens off of it. The 70 to 200 mil. This is like the generation 1 as well, I believe. So it's it's the heaviest out of the two models, but it works a treat. Absolutely worth the investment. So yeah, go check them out. I'll double check the name, but I think it's Cotton. So yeah, awesome. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, I'm back from the rally now, and I just wanted to kind of run through the editing process. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on my editing, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of when I take these photos, what I'm doing initially is almost imagining what it could look like, and then as I'm scanning through the images, I'm kind of picking out a vibe, let's say, of what I want to try and achieve, and I don't want everything to be dissimilar to each other. I want to kind of make it consistent, especially for publications. You don't want images to be, it's okay for social media, and you have this amazing edit and it looks fantastic, and then you go to the next photo and it looks completely different. So trying to keep them consistent and clean is really the goal that I set in mind. I'm using this image of the Ford Focus RS on screen here as an example, and just because of how much greenery there was at the rally itself at Weston Park. If I switch back to the original photo from the camera, you can see there's quite a lot of green in the photo, just because of the rally itself. So when I initially look at this photo, that almost overcrowds the image for me and takes away the subject. It doesn't draw focus to that subject easy on the eye. So when we switch back to the edited version, you can really then see that I've toned down that green, darkened it almost, and took out a little bit of brightness from it, and that just allows the car to pop in the center. And obviously this photo of the Ford Focus, it's been framed in that center subject area, so it just emphasizes the subject a lot easier as well. As far as all the other bits that we tend, the usual stuff that we would edit, the shadows, the highlights, etc. Pretty much for all photography for me, especially general car subject shots, I'll tend to tone down those highlights on the vehicle. I don't want it to be blown out. I want to see all of the details in the car, and I might just touch up the shadows a little bit to help with that as well, so you can get some more details in the wheels, etc., and just really give the viewer a full detailed view of the car itself. So other than that, I tend to not go too saturated on the colours. I keep all the colours the same on the car as well, especially. I might, I've turned down the green on the grass, but I'm trying to keep the green. If there is a car that we're shooting that is green, I want to keep that ideally the same to its true colour for publication reasons. So yeah, I don't go too wild on the saturations. Try and keep those as normal to the eye, but I do boost them a little bit, which does help to just give you that clean image and that professional look. So yeah, I'll probably do a breakdown kind of editing tutorial at some point, which I think will be helpful. Over the couple of years that I've been doing this, I've watched plenty myself on YouTube, which is, they're always valuable. There's always something to learn. So yeah, look out for that. I might do one of those soon. But thanks for watching. If you got this far, I really appreciate it. I'm planning on doing one of these at every event, and I'm pretty much doing an event every weekend all the way up to probably September time. So I look forward to sharing more with you, and I'll see you in the next one.